Real quick before we start Steaktacular with Late Night Gaming, it's a cool one, guys. If you aren't in a Spartan company, Notable Company Foxtrot and Notable Company Gamma are in serious need of members, so go check those out. You can apply right now and they will definitely... What is going on, Halo fans? Luke the Notable here, and I am joined with Late Night Gaming. We are going to be... You can say hi. Say hi.
Well, hello.
No webcam for him, but that's cool. You get to look at his beautiful logo.
I'm shrouded in mystery.
We'll be talking about a couple different things today, mostly the campaign, but as you know, in Steaktacular, I always like to kind of open it with a little discussion on something that's been recently happening in the Halo community. And while this isn't necessarily something recent, I kind of want to get, not only discuss it, but I also want to get your guys' opinion on a double XP weekend. Mythic Shoddy Snipers just came out, right? And we've also had tons of other playlists like it. We had, what was it, the Rocket one that was super unfun. Fiesta Snipers, tons of playlists that have only come out for like a week or a few days. You know, late night. Should I call you Late Night?
What you can call me Taras. That's my real name.
Taras?
Yeah,
I'll call you Taras then. I forgot to ask you what I should call you before we started recording, but Taras.
Oh no, don't worry.
What do you feel? What do you think? A double XP weekend could do for Halo. I've talked about this before. They know my opinion. What is your opinion on it?
Well, it's more like what harm would it cause? Like,
there you go.
I can't really think of anything negative about a double XP weekend. All it's going to do is bring back players every weekend.
Exactly. It's not like it costs you money to produce XP and then we're using money to buy it. It's like, so what if some people rank up a little bit faster on the weekends? If anything, it's going to bring more people in. You know?
Yeah, no. I don't know. I wonder if there's some kind of like scheduling thing going on behind the scenes at 343. Like maybe it's, because of all their monthly updates and stuff, it's hard to coordinate double XP like weekends so that they don't overshadow like some of their big, huge updates that they're trying to do. But I don't know. It's weird that we haven't seen those.
True,
yeah, Halo 5.
What they could do, a lot of times the big updates, the playlists or game modes that come out, they're featured. Featured actually does give a small XP boost, but it's just an XP boost. No one gives a shit about XP.
Yeah, no, I don't really ever notice. Like, the last time that I actually gave, like, a shit about the, like, XP boosts or whatever, I forgot what playlist it was, but I remember it barely gave me anything, like even when I put on multipliers and stuff, and so I just stopped playing because I didn't care.
Yeah, I've done videos on XP and everything like that, and I do a lot of like max XP per hour, max rec point per hour videos, or I should say I used to do them, and the featured playlists would maybe give an extra 1,000 XP per hour, like, and XP doesn't matter, no one cares. Like if you're 152, if you're max level, sure, people care, but for the most people don't really care about their rank. Like me, I see that I rank up and I'm like, oh, I'm 124 now.
Which that's a whole other problem with Halo 5's ranking system, just the lack of rewards for ranking up.
True. I talked about that in my 10 things.
You
Halo
want a couple
6.
Gungeese and a Needler for getting to rank 124?
Yeah. You don't already have 50 gun goose. Here you go. Here's some more.
Yeah, no,
You get an emblem for every, like at 120, 110, 130,
Last
you get an
week
emblem.
I got to rank 117, and I got nothing. I was so pissed off. I was like, you literally missed an opportunity.
And with the unlocks, there's a lot of unlocks that are really promising and are really hard to get. And the rewards you get for them are terrible.
Oh, God. Like, which
I
ones
remember
are you
killing... I was grinding for the Marine kill commendation.
Oh, man.
And I would literally go into Warzone with a DMR and just kill. I would sit outside bases and just kill the Marines. I wouldn't go in because then the Marines would just respawn. I got the emblem and it's literally just like a sword.
Yeah,
I was expecting like a dead Marine or like a Marine helmet that's all destroyed. And I was just,
Yeah, you get nothing. It's like, even for like the light rifle commendations and stuff, I'm thinking, okay, here's a brilliant idea to create some kind of unlock system where it's not all randomly generated. Like maybe if you complete a light rifle commendation, you get a higher chance of actually unlocking a different variation of a light rifle. But it's like, no, I completed my light rifle commendation, I got a Wraith certification, you know, or something like that. It's like, what?
You get a random pack with a random emblem that you're never going to use.
Right.
You know, it's like, they got the unlocks, their leveling up needs to be better. That was a good tangent though, coming off of double XP, and I like what you said that it literally would have no negative aspects to it. Not that I can see anyway. If anything, it's going to bring people. More people are going to want to play Halo on the weekends because they're going to want to get double rec packs. And it's not XP, not double XP. I'm talking, I say XP because that's what it used to be called, but I'm talking double rec points.
Right.
Or even you could do it where maybe you don't get double rec points, but, well, this sounds a little broken, but maybe like you get 3 recs out of a gold pack, 3 recs out of a silver pack on the weekends. So you could like save it up during the weekdays and then open them all on the weekend.
So, like some kind of like a half-off weekend or something. Once every month on like a Saturday, all rec packs are like half off or something like that.
Yeah, because as shitty as it sounds, 343 does benefit, and I think they should be trying to push more sales of rec packs. And releasing a rec pack, the Ghost of Meridian's rec pack that gives you 4 armors for $15 the day it comes out, that's not, no one wants to buy that. Like, who in their right mind would spend $15 on 4 armors that you can't even pick? I've also thought that having certain recs available for purchase, like if you want Nornfang certification, it's $5. I think that'd be a good way to get some revenue. Sure, it takes, because then you have the skilled method or the grindy method is just opening gold packs until you get it. Yeah. Or you can just buy the certification. You're not necessarily buying you're buying 3 Nornfangs, but you're also, I mean, the way Halo 5 did their microtransactions are probably the best. It's the best way that Halo could have done microtransactions.
Oh man, and like when you compare it to other video games and stuff, like I know Overwatch is now big, but also even beforehand, I've heard from the Call of Duty community that Black Ops 3 is really bad with their microtransactions, and it's essentially like, instead of certifications, you can get duplicates of weapons.
What?
And that sounds awful because that basically ensures that there is never stuff, like you never run out of like stuff to fill up the random number generator, and so you pretty much never ever, like, you could basically get 2 certifications for a Wraith, and then you could just be like, oh, I don't need 2 certifications. But so I like how Halo 5, at least, it's like, okay, you got your Wraith certification, that's it, you don't need to worry anymore. You can't get duplicates of a Wraith certification.
I agree. I've seen a lot about, like, it's basically like CSGO, where you open up cases, endless amount of cases, trying to get that one really cool thing. Whereas in Halo, as you're opening cases, you take certain stuff that you don't want out of the pool.
Yeah, it's never like that with all these other games and stuff.
Like I said, it might sound crappy, but I'm all for 343 monetizing their game more as long as it doesn't affect the core gameplay. And I don't see a problem with selling Nornfangs for $5 a pop.
Well, it's also, I think, like, something a lot of people don't know when it comes to a publisher/developer relationship is anything money-wise, like, whenever money is involved, that's a publisher decision. So a lot of the microtransactions and stuff, I can guarantee you that was easily 100% a Microsoft decision.
True. And then
it's the same reason we don't
Microsoft
see...
doesn't know what they're talking about as far as...
Because they don't play the game. They just look at the sales charts and everything.
Yeah. Major Nelson doesn't fucking play Halo 5.
Well, Major Nelson, he does play games. Like, I have looked at his Xbox Live profile, and he has a shocking amount of achievements.
That could be some Koreans in a sweatshop just passing the controller. Oh, look at the next achievement.
he's got gamers for hire, like little slaves playing his games for him. Yeah, that's
I need you to play Peggle 2 for me.
Oh my god, that would be awful if that was the case.
I liked Peggle 1, but I've never played Peggle 2.
Anyway, Peggle 2 is great, but
is it good? Yeah. Okay,
it's all right.
And now a message from our sponsor. Are you tired of reading?
Yeah. Fuck reading.
Well, that doesn't mean you're going to miss out on all of the Halo extended lore that comes on the book. Click the link below to get 2 free audiobooks with Audible. They sponsor Steaktacular, and every time someone signs up for a free trial, it really helps me out. And as you can see, I really need it.
All right, let's get on to the main topic. We're going to talk a lot about episode...
Yeah, this is a Halo podcast.
Yeah, this is a Halo podcast. What episode was it? Was it 11? 11? Was that last episode? Was it? Anyway, I talked about 10 things that Halo 6 needs for...
That was last episode.
Yeah, 10 things that Halo 6 needs for, for it to be a successful game. I spoke only about multiplayer, but today we're going to talk about campaign. Why the Halo 5 campaign was terrible. There's been tons of videos on this. Videos on Late Night Gaming's channel. Really good one from Actman. I've never really made one on it. I've just kind of silently in the dark hated the campaign. But most people do not like it, and there's a ton of reasons for that. But we're going to kind of talk about some of those. Maybe get to a end point of how Halo 6 or Halo 5 can transition to Halo 6 as far as story-wise. Throw back some ideas. Kind of keep it ad-libbed. So, first thing you got to talk about when you talk about the Halo 5 campaign is the fact that we were pretty much lied to in advertising.
Yep.
100%. That was the first thing when I played through the Halo 5 campaign that I was mad about. And while we could go into that, I don't know if you want to say anything particular about that. I don't want to talk too much about the advertising, at least myself. If you want to say something, go ahead. I want to talk about more of the storytelling aspects of the campaign, because I think that is more what has totally fucked Halo 5 and Halo 6 long term. They really have to throw a boomerang, or that's not even a saying, to come back from this.
Well, it's like, in defense, not in defense. That's a terrible way to start this off. But a lot of people have brought up that Halo kind of has a history of not dishonest, but very, very misleading advertising. You look at Halo 2's advertising where it's like, the game's going to take place on Earth as you defend Earth from the Covenant. It's like, that wasn't the case. There were 2 missions on Earth. But then there's Halo 3 with their Believe campaign, with Chief like dying and sacrificing himself and stuff. And so it's like, but I would argue that Halo 5's was much worse because Halo 2 and Halo 3 it was vague about what it was. It kind of said, yeah, this is, finish the fight and stuff like that. Halo 5 was very specific, very, very specific and detailed about what the story was going to be, and we didn't get the story that it was detailing so extensively.
Yeah, especially with all that Hunt the Truth stuff. The ad that speaks out to me the most is the one where it's either Chief or it's Locke laying on the ground, and the other one's holding a pistol to his head. Like, that ad alone sets a tone for how Halo 5 should have been, and it was nothing like that.
Yeah, right. Like, Locke doesn't care about Chief. If anything, he's indifferent. He's just like, it's just another mission. Who cares?
Exactly.
And he doesn't hate Chief.
Osiris doesn't even really want to take Chief down. There's a cutscene where
they don't care.
Where Buck is talking to Locke, and he's like, you really want to do this? It's
Which
the
even
Chief.
then, we could go into that, and it's like, okay, so the idea is that they're just arresting Chief. They're just bringing him in because Chief's kind of disobeying orders. That's
he hasn't done anything
Chief.
Too
And then
bad.
Buck's like, they're gonna hate us. You know that. It's like, why? You're just bringing him in.
Yeah,
He's not even
like
under arrest. You're just bringing him in.
Yeah, it's not like he killed Palmer, which would be awesome.
Yeah, what are you talking about? What do you mean they're gonna hate you? It makes no sense.
I was so pumped to get a story like that, like where you had these 2 opposing forces, but all we got was 2 stories being told simultaneously that met in the middle for a brief millisecond and went off on their own little tangents.
And even then, the stories aren't compelling because, number one, Halo 5 breaks one of the cardinal rules of storytelling, is that your main character or characters have to impact the narrative in some way. The characters don't. Chief just kind of goes to Meridian, then dicks around on Genesis till he's captured, and that's his story. He doesn't do anything.
He searches for Cortana until Cortana captures him. He doesn't change the universe in any way. His entire role in the story is Cortana blipped him. He had an LSD trip. Cortana was like, hey, come find me, Chief. He went and found her. He got captured. Fireteam Osiris did literally everything in the campaign. They progressed the story completely.
I wouldn't even say they progressed the story because they didn't do anything with the story. They just chased Chief, and the only thing they did to actually impact the narrative was get Chief out of the cryptum, and that was the last segment
mission
of the story.
Yeah.
We had to wait the entire campaign to see something happen.
some sort of world-ending threat.
Yeah, like
Before that,
it's
it
just
was. I mean, the
vague
Guardians kind of. It was like, okay, but what is she going to do with them? All the other Halo games, there's been some sort of world-ending threat that someone has been throughout the entire game fighting towards.
Yeah.
And Halo 5 was mostly vague until the end.
It's
And
also
they didn't have enough game to tell the story.
I thought it was quite stupid as well. How it's like, okay, the whole idea is that Cortana's evil, right? Well, why didn't you make that a twist? Why, in the very beginning of the game, did you pretty much tell the players, yeah, Cortana's the bad guy for this game? There's nothing left to keep us excited. It's pretty much just, okay, when are we going to beat up Cortana? You know?
Yeah, and
Like,
even
could
the
you
way
imagine-
Cortana's talking to you, you kind of know that something's sinister about it.
Yeah,
The whole game,
like,
you know the
it's-
twist. You know that Cortana's not going to be...
So
Yeah.
they're just beating it over your head that Cortana's the bad guy. So when she finally captures John, it's like, oh no! I knew this from the beginning that she was evil. Like, what did you expect me to be?
Yeah.
Shocked? Surprised?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it was
one
so
thing that
bad.
I really wanted between Locke and Chief, and I most of my hate from the campaign stems from the fact that Locke and Chief weren't properly dealt with. What I wanted was, you know, Chief to be this, for us as the player, knowing that Chief is correct. Knowing that whatever Chief was going to do, whatever he betrayed, you know, if he betrayed UNSC in any way, we would know as the player that he was correct. And then everyone else in the world thinks that he's wrong, and Locke is that embodiment of that. That Locke is the one that's, you know, out to get him. And we didn't get any of that. Because even Locke, the person that's supposed to be this Oni badass, this assassin, even Locke was unsure of if he wanted to take Chief in, you know?
he didn't even seem like that. He just seemed indifferent. He's like, whatever, it's just another mission.
Yeah.
Let's go get him.
All right, let's go. Come on, let's roll out.
Yeah, and then he's just like, hey, you, come here. And then Chief beats the shit out of him. And then Lasky is like, oh, by the way, Chief might be right. And then Locke's like, oh, okay, well, let's go help Chief. Like, he's just,
Yeah.
he does whatever people tell him to do. He has no thoughts for himself or opinions.
Yeah, and that's one things that at the end of Halo 4's campaign I was really, really excited for was the fact that we finally get to see Chief thinking for himself. That you know, Cortana told me not to be a machine. And then in Halo 5, first mission, he's back being a machine, you know?
Yeah.
He goes right back to, let's just get this mission done, guys. You know, it's
Like, yeah, no, it's awful. Like, they set up a little bit that Chief was hiding his emotions when he's, like, looking at the chip, and then he's like, whatever, I have a mission to do, and he puts on his helmet, and then he's back in, like, soldier mode. But they never have like the emotional moments again. He's in soldier mode for the rest of the campaign. So it's almost like a big like middle finger to the player base for enjoying. It's like, yeah, we could explore his story, but no, you're playing as, you know, shooter protagonist number 87.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And that was one thing that I really liked in Halo 1, because in Halo 1, Chief really wasn't developed at all, but it was
he
still
wasn't
fun.
supposed to.
But by the end, by the end of Halo 3, you really felt for the Chief, even though he had minimal dialogue. He is a great character. And they kind of just destroyed him in Halo 5 because they built him up so much in Halo 4. I was so ready for the Chief to actually be a person instead of the machine.
Oh
like
yeah,
you said.
like this like personal journey. Yeah, like his like when he's staring at the Earth and he's just like, she said that to me once about being a machine.
And at the end
I'm
of
just
Halo
like,
4,
oh,
he takes off his
goosebumps.
armor. Like, at the end of Halo 4, you're under the impression that Chief's done, you know? Like, he's done
like,
being a soldier. And then
he's
at the start
taking
of Halo
off
5,
his
he's right
armor
back.
and stuff because it's a visual representation of like his armor, you know, him hiding the vulnerable person that he is inside.
Yeah,
it's that
everything that's happened to
collapsing.
him, his past, all the, you know, people.
Yeah, it's
and
all collapsing
everyone
around
he's
him.
killed. It's, and I don't understand.
And the way that the screen cuts to black, you know, before we actually get to fully see his face, it's showing that, you know, there's still a part of him that is unsure about this. Like, he's still trying to hide himself. And it's just, it's so great. And why didn't they expand on that in Halo 5?
I don't know, man. One thing that I wanted to talk about, and I might do a video later on this, I've been recently playing Gears of War with my girlfriend. I don't know, have you played Gears?
I have played the first Gears and a little bit of the second one.
Okay, well, I've been recently playing that with her. She actually loves it. It's weird because she's like this. I think she's like 5'1".
That's the size of my girlfriend. She's 5'1".
Like this little girl, and she's like, she loves executions and she loves chainsawing people. But one thing that Gears of War does really well is they give you this feeling of desperation. This feeling of these characters could actually die. They're in trouble. I never felt that at all in Halo 5, and it's mostly because of that. Well, it's the whole game, but the first cutscene when you're Fireteam Osiris and you're literally ripping apart Covenant, you're destroying everyone. You know, to me that feels like these guys have no threat whatsoever. They kill Jul 'Mdama in the first mission, and then Blue Team destroys an entire Covenant fleet. I don't have any thought during the entire Halo 5 campaign that these guys could actually die, and I think that's something that a lot of other Halo games, all the other Halo games, did very well. Start of Halo 1, the Halo 1, 2, and 3 trilogy, you crash the, what was it, Pillar of Dawn?
Yeah, it was. In the first one, it was Pillar of Autumn.
Pillar of Autumn. Spirit of Fire, Pillar of Autumn.
There are so
Infinity.
many different
it's like,
Halo ships.
You get them mixed up. In Halo Reach, you know, your guys die all the time. Yeah, in ODST, no one dies, but everyone's separated. You know, they have this feeling of desperation and this overarching idea of desperation that Halo 5 didn't have, and I think that takes a lot away from it. I might actually do a whole video on comparing Gears of War to Halo 5, but I might just go into some of my points in this video and say screw it, because it's a lot of work to get a bunch of Gears of War cutscenes. One other thing... Go ahead.
No,
you.
I was just going to say, like, one of my main actual problems is, like, I get what they were trying to do with the cutscenes of them just kicking ass. The idea is supposed to be that, yes, this is the new age for Halo. This is how awesome you're going to be as the player. But the thing is, they're showing all this awesome stuff, but not letting us be able to play the awesome stuff. You know, that's another thing about gaming. I talked about the cardinal sin of storytelling. Well, the cardinal sin of gaming is showing a set piece that the player can't do. You know, in Halo, definitely, that's not to say that every single Halo game before it has, you know, not done this. You know, Halo 2 did it with the Scarab. You know, they didn't allow you to physically destroy the Scarab. It was destroyed in the cutscene, but then they rectified that in Halo 3. You destroyed the Scarab. In the campaign for Halo 5, there's at no point where you get to jump into a Phantom and clear out its entire crew and send it crashing. No, it's all cutscenes, and then they throw you into some linear Call of Duty style level where it's just a hallway till the end of the mission.
A pretty hallway, albeit.
Yeah.
But a hallway. One other thing I thought I really didn't like is the fact that we see pretty much 99% of all the enemies we're ever going to see in the first mission, in the first two missions.
There's no pacing at this campaign. I mean, the first thing you see is an energy sword. It's like, wow, one of the best weapons in the game, and you're showing it in the first level. And then on top of that, the very first sequence after that whole scripted first-person cutscene, the game just dumps tons of weapons on you. It's like, where's the pacing? What is going on?
We're shown soldiers, we're shown crawlers, we're shown knights, we're shown elites, jackals, grunts,
you look at Combat
everything.
Evolved. The first mission is almost exclusively your assault rifle and pistol because it wants you to get used to that. But in the first mission of this game, it throws almost every weapon in the game at you.
Yep. You also see the Kraken, which
which
could have been a cool surprise, like it was in Halo 2. You go down to the surface of Earth, and all of a sudden there's this Scarab, and you're pooping your pants because you're thinking, how the hell am I going to kill that thing? There wasn't any pacing in it, and that's one thing that Halo has never really had a huge, diverse, armory or roster of enemies. There's you have the elites, you got the brutes, jackals, grunts, drones, hunters. That's pretty much it. But to throw all of your enemies in the first mission, it makes the entire game bland. Like you were saying, it's that hallway. Like the whole game is just one linear track, a pretty linear track that has
Well,
clamber.
pretty for like 3 missions until you get to Meridian, then it's gross and dull looking in Genesis where it's all low res and...
Yeah, I'm kind of tired of the polygon graphic style of the Promethean levels. It just seems lazy.
It's just like, are you tired of metal interiors yet? No? Okay, well here's some more metal interiors.
Yeah, because this is the easiest to render.
Yeah.
Have fun. Have fun
it's
playing
disgusting.
on metal platforms.
Yeah, like, where's the wide open level design? You think of the second mission of Halo Combat Evolved and how freaking huge it is in terms of scale.
I still get lost in that freaking mission when I'm trying to rescue those Marines. I never remember where to go.
Mission in Halo 5 that matches the scale of Combat Evolved's level design. And this is supposed to be next gen. Why are the levels even more restrictive than even Halo 4, which was pretty linear in its own right?
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, I'm sure some of it is the fact that, you know, the X-Bone probably isn't the highest
hardware
tier.
Limitations.
Yeah, hardware limitations. I mean, how much processing power does Halo 1 really need to run?
And you look at the beta of Halo 5 and all the little things that it did compared to the final game. Like in the beta, foliage and stuff would actually cast shadows and they would be impacted by shadows. And not in the final game. In the final game, grass and stuff, it looks like it's glowing, you know? It doesn't cast any shadows. It's not illuminated or anything.
Well, I believe, wasn't the beta 720p? But
it was
720p. It was 60 frames, though.
It was 60 frames, but it was 720p, and I guess Microsoft was like, no, you know, make it 1080p or close to it.
I just actually uploaded a video 2 hours and 50 minutes ago at the time of recording this, talking about, you know, maybe it's more focused on split screen, but should we step away from 1080p 60 in the, you know, for the idea of getting a Halo game that looks better, plays better?
I think
my idea was, of course,
for
split
the
screen.
campaign, at least for the campaign, keep it 30.
That's
so
what a
you
lot
can
of people were
maximize
saying.
the visual
Is they wanted
fidelity.
a lot of people were saying we want 60 frames a second in multiplayer, despite split screen. But a lot of people were saying you can keep the campaign 30 frames a second, and that'll allow split screen, and it'll also allow better visuals, which I think is definitely important. It could allow bigger maps as well, bigger draw distances.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
better
Halo 5,
animation quality overall.
Yeah, that too. Like,
yeah,
sure, you don't have the... Well, if you're in 1080p, then your resolution is the same. You just don't have as many frames.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
an
fine
interesting
with
video,
720p. As long as you use anti-aliasing and your art style is on point, I don't see a problem. It's a console. I'm not buying a high-end PC.
I play in 720p.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I can record in 1080 no problem, but I play in 720p because I feel like 1080p is a little distracting when the game gets.
First time ever.
Honestly, that's my honest opinion. The game feels a little. It's like it's almost overstimulation. You know,
it's like it's too clear.
When you're playing fast-paced. You know, do I really want all those lighting details? Do I really need to see the pores of the enemy Spartan? I really just want to see his silhouette, you know.
Okay.
And that's kind of
that's
my
fair.
Yeah, it's purely a sweaty try-hard thing that I do, but it does work.
You could also that could lead into a whole discussion, maybe even your own video on it. Should Halo have some kind of graphics options in the future?
I mean, you have it on your console. But what you're saying is like, do I want to be in 120 FPS? Could I sacrifice like a lot of guys that play CS:GO play on like the slowest settings so they can
so that they can see everything. They turn
frame
all the
rate.
lighting off.
Yeah, so you're literally just shooting at a black box, but that's the most efficient way to play, and that's kind of my reasoning for going down to 720p. Is I don't need to look at all the pretty stuff. I just need to look at your Spartan.
Because also with Halo 5, since the beta, they did it in response to the beta's feedback where people are like, this game's too pretty, we can't see what we're shooting at. Well, so for what they did in the final game was it looks like the Spartans are literally glowing. Like even when they're standing in shadows, they're completely illuminated. They're unaffected by shadows, and It looks awful because, while I understand graphics aren't everything, it's
Isn't it so you can see them at longer distances?
yeah, as
So
well
they
as
can
at
get
longer
away
distances.
get away with having bigger maps. There's a lot of graphical issues with Halo 5.
And it's like, yes, it's more clear than the beta, like I can see things easier, but for me, I just want a pretty looking game. You know, I don't want this game that is downgrading itself visually and treating me like a baby or something. No, I want this game to look like a next-gen Halo game.
I agree. While I don't play in 1080p, I think having a game that visually looks good, I would rather have a game that has the highest resolution possible than 60 frames a second. Because all the other previous Halos, they weren't 60 FPS. We got along fine. They look smooth. Halo 2 was
Halo 3
smooth
is
as
still
hell.
beautiful.
Yeah, you ever play Halo 3 on the MCC? It's still good, but that's also because it's in 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
But if you play Halo 3 on the 360, you can't tell the difference. I mean, a little bit. At first you can, but
The
after
resolution.
a game, yeah, the resolution. But I'm talking about the frame rate. You know, you can't really.
It's
It's a
locked
small
30
difference,
frames
but-
per second versus locked 60 frames. It's just a beautiful game in general. The lighting's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
The
but
bump
that's
mapping's
also,
really good.
You know, it could be a point on just time put into the game, maybe.
Oh man, yeah, there was.
You know, Halo 3 was babied, I'm sure, by Bungie, but Halo 5
Yeah.
was rushed, and that could be the reason that it doesn't perform like we want it to.
Yeah.
It's still fun. I still want to play Halo every day. I don't think Halo's left my disc tray in a while. Only
Yeah.
to play Fallout 4 when that came out, but it's
Which-
still fun, and at the end of the day, that's what matters.
And it's also, I feel like sometimes a lot of people, they play Halo 5 to death and they get sick of it. And something you definitely got to do is you got to take a break every once in a while.
I agree. I took I'm playing Gears of War a lot now.
Yeah.
But I took a break
Gears
to
of
play a little Destiny, even though but that was a very quick break because I was like,
Even though the game's a poop
this isn't
from a
that
butt.
great. For a while it was cool, but it just kind of got old on me real fast.
And then you realized how stupid the game is.
Yeah. Oh man, we're getting really sidetracked in this one.
Oh yeah, no, we're going off on all sorts of tangents.
I almost don't even want to give this a title of campaign, whatever. I just almost want to title this Steaktacular with
Halo
LateNightGaming.
discussions in general, the future.
Yeah.
Where
That's
does
a
Halo
good
go
one.
from here?
You're a good title maker, man.
Yeah.
Future of Halo, future of Halo, Halo 6 future. That's cool. That's
Halo
cool.
6,
I always have
back for more.
problems with making titles. I always have to think about it for a long time before I actually come up with one that I actually really like.
Something
And it's always hard to find a way
yeah.
to get that title and find a way to fit it on the thumbnail.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, thumbnails are their own. Man. Okay, no, I was about to go on a whole thing about how thumbnails used to be compared to now, but no, this is Halo. Man, you just need a straight up like personal podcast
That's
where you
what
can talk about
Steaktacular
anything.
used to be. Steaktacular used to be me just getting on and having a Halo commentary and talking about my day, but it has evolved into this. I'm sure people wouldn't mind if we started talking about random stuff. Actually, do your thumbnail rant. I'm sure.
My thumbnail rant. Okay.
Do it.
So, remember how thumbnails used to be back when YouTube first started off, how it was just like stuff from in-game, and now you
it
look
was
at all
a still
sorts...
frame, yeah.
Yeah, and now it's like there are red circles everywhere and arrows pointing at things like, 10 things you didn't know about Captain America 3, and there's just
Yeah.
like a circle pointing at Captain America. It's so obnoxious how like
It can
over
be,
the top
yes.
thumbnails have gotten. They're sometimes more creatively interesting than the video itself.
I agree. I try to make good ones though. I don't try to be too clickbaity with them, but I always try to do my own theater screenshots with them. Because personally, when I see like generic Google images, it just kind of looks tacky. Personally. So I always like to get my own theater screenshots, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, did you have anything else on your list of things? Your
As far
organized
as,
list?
as I didn't really have any, I just wanted to discuss campaign. We went
you
off
just
on a great
wanted
tangent. I do have 4 mystery questions for you.
Oh, boy.
If you are so inclined. I have not told him anything about these. We're just gonna go into them. So I hope
I'm
you're
excited.
ready.
I'm
I hope
so
you're
excited.
ready. People always like these. I always come up with cool ones. So the first one. This one, I always scour Halo Waypoint right before I record Steaktacular. Try to,
Just
I go to
creep
the
around on Halo
yeah,
Waypoint.
yeah. I try to. I always go to the three. They have a three most popular topics, and I always go to those first. And there was only one good one this week or today,
boy.
I guess, and that was most famous person you have played against. It was 12 pages long. I hit Control F and I searched both Luke and Late to see if anyone put down us. And two people put down my name, two people put down your name. So we're equal in that aspect. Two people consider us famous.
Wow.
So that's cool. Most of them
feel
were like
humbled.
pros, like I played with Ogre or I played with Lethal one time, which is kind of expected. There's a lot of pros out there. But we were in that. We were in the list, which is cool. That made me feel good.
That's cool.
So, I want to ask you, who is the, I guess, most famous? That's totally subjective, but who's the most famous person you've played against or played with? I guess.
Well, I mean, okay. Is this a person that I'm friends with, or is this just somebody I found in the wild?
Find in the wild, or you could do friends with. Found in the wild or friends with.
Jack from Ultimate Halo before when he was with Halo Follower, I guess that. Also, I've done, Chris or whatever his name was from Halo Follower, and also Chief Canuck.
Oh, wow.
I've encountered Chief Canuck in the wild, and we played quite a few games of Warzone.
Wow. Oh, was that all in Warzone? Because I don't really play much Warzone anymore.
I've found Chris from Halo Follower. I found him in the wild on Halo 2 on the Master Chief Collection.
Oh, cool.
And then Jack from Ultimate Halo, formerly Halo Follower. I found him a few times in 4v4 Slayer on Halo 5, but also we play quite often.
Cool. That's
together.
Really cool. Yeah. I think most famous I played against is Snipe Down. I got in a match with him. Yeah.
You were able to play with Snipe Down.
Yep. Team Arena. I played with, it was his Smurf actually. I was streaming, he was streaming, and we got in a game. I was playing with some fans, but they were fans that I handpicked. It was like I picked my team. We were running in like low Onyx, like it wasn't anything high.
You're in Onyx?
Oh yeah.
Oh man!
You can't do tips videos unless you're in Onyx.
Wait, okay, hang on. I got a quick question. What button settings do you use?
Hell Jumper.
You use Hell Jumper. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, because I can't do the ground pound by pressing right stick.
I've gotten used to it.
Okay, yeah, it's a thing you can get used to. Okay,
yeah,
good.
I've gotten used to it.
Okay, I might have to make the transition to Hell Jumper then.
Proximity also uses Hell Jumper, but what he does is he button maps his right bumper to the right stick. He throws grenades with the he clicks in the right stick, which I didn't want.
Weird.
I thought there's no way I'm doing that. I'd rather melee with the right stick.
Yeah, that's so weird and specific. Oh my god.
Yeah. One other thing I can do is I have these paddles that I use.
Oh, you have paddles, okay.
Yeah, they're like $50. They hurt. They've been hurting my fingers recently, so I haven't been using them. I think I'm gonna steal some soft medical tape from work and tape them up, so they're a little bit softer. But long-term use, they're kind of nice. They help with touching buttons like that. But yeah, Hell Jumper, 3 sensitivity, 4 aim acceleration, and then everything else default.
Okay. All right, that's good to know, because I tried playing, because I like to play on Bumper Jumper, but Halo 5, it doesn't feel, like I know that they've said, over and over again that, it's just, there's no accuracy or any benefits to zooming in, but there totally is.
There totally is.
Totally is.
You get auto aim activation earlier. There totally is accuracy benefits.
And so it feels weird and wonky pressing right stick to zoom in Halo 5. Like, it feels less responsive than being able to just snap in and out of it with the left trigger.
The biggest thing I notice is that if someone's shooting me at long range, it's hard to get your scope back when you're clicking in the right stick. But if you are continuously pulling the left stick, sometimes between shots you can get your scope back and turn the tide of a gunfight. Sometimes. Yeah. Not all the time. A lot of times if he's shooting you and get your scope down, you're screwed. But sometimes it helps. It also does, like you said, it feels more responsive.
Just overall, yeah.
But anyway, most famous person I played with was Snipedown. He was streaming, I was streaming. A bunch of the guys from his stream were like, "Oh, that's Luke the Notable," so they came into my stream.
That's cool.
He did beat us. He was good. I think I out-PR'd him or out-pistoled him one time, but
Oh, nice.
I'm not saying I'm better than Snipedown.
That's not what you're saying at all.
I'm not saying I'm better than Snipedown or
It's
anything,
what
but
you're
I
implying.
did.
It's not what you're saying, though.
I did out Magnum him. You know. We talked about this a little bit earlier. This is the next mystery question. Of all the special playlists, like, you know, right now it's Mythic Shoddy Snipers, we had a bunch of other ones. Which ones has been your favorite?
Oh man, that's there's not even a competition. I think it's the Super Fiesta.
Yeah? Super Fiesta?
That was
Okay.
so incredible.
It was good. It was really fun. I actually thought about doing a Super Fiesta like weekend montage. Didn't actually happen because things came up, but that was really fun. I was going to say Warzone Turbo.
Warzone Turbo was pretty fun as well.
I like Warzone Turbo.
I feel like it's now obviously I hope it's not this cynical, but I feel like the reason for Warzone Turbo existing is
Rexing.
to drain your Rex so
Yep.
that you buy more.
Yeah, I thought that too. Like, they're just trying to get us
to buy
spend
more
mo-
Rec Packs.
spend
I
money.
hope it's not that cynical. I hope that's not the reasoning behind it, but
Yeah, I agree. It was there was probably some of that aspect in there, but Warzone Turbo was definitely fun. I enjoyed putting on like 4 speed boosts and just running around with my bayonet. Like,
oh my god.
yeah.
Oh my god,
It was
yeah,
cheeky,
no,
but it
that's-
worked. Eventually,
that's
everyone
great.
started doing it, and it wasn't as fun anymore. But
Remember when they patched the speed boost so that it makes the Spartan charge insta-kill you?
yeah, and then a
That
week
didn't
later, they
work,
got
and
rid of it
They got rid of it almost instantly.
because everyone was like, "We didn't even like Spartan Charge to begin with. Don't buff it."
You don't even, like, on paper, I get how that seems like a good idea, but throwing an ability like that into the wild
Yeah.
is just not good.
No.
It's like with the, in Halo Reach, with the weapon bloom, the way that, as you fire, your weapon becomes progressively more inaccurate. It's like, okay, I get it on paper how that seems like a good idea, but Halo Reach is one of the reasons I don't like that game's multiplayer. 'Cause
I
it's
agree.
just-
It was Halo Reach. I say it's a good game, but it's a good game after the title update when they got rid of Bloom. It was
Isn't
a
it-
phenomenal game. It's not fixed on the 360 or the backwards compatible right now.
Ugh.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's
You can
unplayable
play
on the-
Super Slayer, which is the title update playlists, but no one plays them because I think you need the DLC.
Oh no, that's
They're-
awful.
They're the least popular playlist. There's like 7 people playing Super Slayer.
That's
So
terrible.
you have to play with Bloom on. And I know because last week I did Halo Reach gameplay for the background.
Oh wow.
It's. I don't think Spartan Charge is nearly as bad as Weapon Bloom, but it's bad.
no, it's pretty bad. It's
I
also
don't think anything will come. Maybe Armor Lock, is worse than
and
Weapon
then
Bloom.
and then the stupid no melee bleed through.
Oh,
That was so awful. That was so bad.
when I was getting Halo Reach gameplay for last episode of Steaktacular, that was the worst. That killed me so often because I'd shoot a guy 3 or 4 times with a DMR, go for the melee, and it wouldn't kill him.
Yeah, that was the
just-
worst aspect of Reach in my opinion. It was either that or Weapon Bloom.
It was like Bungie was deliberately trying to kill Halo with that that
Man,
game.
what if that's what they were trying to do?
Dude, to boost sales of Destiny, maybe?
Like I
Deliberately
I
kill Halo, but do it like secretly and then go make Destiny?
Like when it came to Bungie and stuff, obviously I'll be very quick with this, but it always felt like there was a level of spite towards Microsoft when they, like with Destiny, the way they, or with Halo Reach, the way they deliberately ignored the canon of Reach.
True.
It almost felt
It
like
turned out to be a good story. I loved the story of Reach.
well.
Oh, you don't?
That's where we disagree.
You don't? Oh, Reach's story was great.
I hated Reach's
What
campaign.
didn't
I
you like
hated
about
Noble
Reach's
Team.
campaign?
I hated Reach. I hated
Oh.
everybody involved. I was just like, this story's
See,
so boring.
That's my favorite campaign.
Oh
Like-
no, Halo 3's mine.
Halo 3 is good, but I like Reach as a standalone game. Just one of the facts is it's a standalone game, and I think it tells a pretty good story. Yeah, there's some plot holes, but overall I like it. Oh man, that's a shame. We can't be friends now. I like Halo Reach
We're getting
campaign.
off so well.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, next question. Now I'm all depressed. This one will bring me up though. Okay. Which XXX rated movie would make more money?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Lasky and Palmer or Locke and Palmer?
Lasky and Palmer and Locke and Palmer. Well, that...
Which one's going to get more views on the side of your choice?
Well, Lasky out of all of those, I would say, is the only character with a bit of a personality, so...
He could act, probably.
Yeah.
And have a good story.
Yeah. So
I think
maybe
Locke
I'm
could
going with
perform
Lasky.
better. You know?
It's a pity that Lasky did nothing in Halo 5.
And I feel like Lasky, you could do like a nerd movie where the nerd gets laid. Whereas Locke, he's just gonna walk in and be like, "Yo, take your clothes off."
And he'd be doing those like Kevin Spacey sad eyes that he has, where he just constantly looks like a man hurting inside.
Oh, that was a weird question. I thought of that last minute. But so, what's your answer, Lasky or
I'd
Locke?
go with Lasky.
Locke? Yeah, I think Locke. I think that would make more money. I think
Locke?
Yeah, you could, because they're both tall. You could do like an Amazon thing.
I'm thinking,
Get them costumes.
I'm getting very uncomfortable talking about this. Like,
Okay.
this isn't a question I want to be deep in thought about.
Well, that's the beauty of Steaktacular. Okay, last question.
Or Streaktacular if it was a porno.
Streaktacular, yeah. Streaktacular. If you could only use one wreck for the rest of your Halo career, which would it be?
Oh no. That's a terrible question.
Why is that a terrible question? Because you can't decide between all of the really overpowered wrecks?
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Perhaps it would be either the Blood of Suban or...
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
Because it's
That's a
just
weird
5
answer.
shots and you get a kill.
Okay.
Either that or probably I would have to say maybe the that final wreck for the freaking what's it called? The suppressor. I forgot the name of it. The one where you get 5 shots in and they explode.
Razor's Edge?
Yeah, I've actually recently been really liking the Razor's Edge.
That's really good. You picked some underpowered wrecks.
I like everyone goes for the answer and stuff, but there's only like a certain amount of damage that the answer can do. Like at a range, the answer is pointless and useless.
True.
Where it's like I feel like something like the Blood of Suban or the Razor's Edge would be good at pretty much close to medium range /
True.
longish range. I want something good all around.
Yeah. I was going with, when I thought about this, the first thing that popped in my head was Nornfang. Because the fact that it's a one-hit kill. But I thought, I really don't want to be no-scoping all the time if I have to only use one weapon.
Yeah.
I don't want to always be on edge no-scoping. So I thought either the Heartseeker, because it's just a good all-around weapon. It's very easy to use because it has lock-on. Or the Spanker Prime, because that's just such a fun weapon
Spanker
to
Prime's
use.
pretty good.
You got that increased jump, the speed boost, the fact that the rocket travels at freaking light speed.
Yeah! Yeah, the Spanker Prime's awesome.
It's a rocket launcher, but it has a lot of range because the rocket is like poof, and it's there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I would choose. I'd probably lean more towards Spanker Prime, just because of the fact you get that awesome jump, which I love.
Oh yeah.
But that is actually it for Steaktacular. We're a little longer than we normally are. We're at least on my recording, we're at 49-ish minutes. But it's a good one. It's okay. Steaktacular was about rambling when I first created the series. I'm sure no one would mind that we got a little off topic. Go check out, I'm sure most of you guys know who Late Night Gaming is. But if you don't, go check him out. He does a lot of discussion type videos, a bunch of random stuff, stuff. He's just a Halo content creator. He's a nice dude. And he doesn't like Halo Reach, so maybe, don't go subscribe to him. He doesn't like Halo Reach. Fuck this guy. He doesn't think Halo Reach is cool.
It's not. You're so wrong about Reach.
I love Reach. I fucking love Reach. Not the multiplayer, but the campaign. I love it. But for real though, go check him out. Make sure to thumbs up the video. And if you want to see us talk about anything more in the next episode, or you want to see someone Come on Steak. Make sure to comment down below, but also go to their channel. I found them a lot more successful with getting people to come on Steak when someone goes to their channel and says, hey, Luke the Notable wants you on Steaktacular.
Oh yeah, no, I'm totally gonna say that I'm on your Steak or Streaktacular.
Streaktacular.
Depending on what, if we're still talking about porn.
That's okay. I misspelled realized in a tweet today, so whatever.
Right.
I've been trying to tweet more. So thank you guys for watching. And at the end, you get to say this for the once, unless you come back on, you get to say stay notable, which is my thing. So stay notable, you guys.
Yeah.
No, this is when you say it.
Oh, stay notable.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you guys later.